Welcome into the Casual Gaming Conversation. I'm Connor. That's Nick. This is your quarterly bonus Casual Gaming Conversation. Today we're talking about Astro Bot on PlayStation 5. Nick and I have been playing it. We finished it, and we're going to be able to finally review it for you today. Nick, how we doing?
Doing well. This was the first time you and I ever both were reviewing two games at once. You were doing Black Myth, I was doing Outlaws, and in the background we were playing Astros, and now we're able to talk about it. I'm extremely excited to talk about it with you. Shout out to PlayStation for sending us the codes. Connor, how are you feeling?
I'm good. It's just been, the lead up to this has been so weird because I've just seen a lot of speculation online, a lot of people excited, a lot of people talking about trying to figure out where this game is going to land, and I've just been sitting here like, I cannot wait to be able to talk about this game. So finally being able to blow the doors off this thing and really just dig into Astro Bot is going to be really exciting. I cannot wait to dig into this. So how are you doing, Nick?
I'm doing well. It's time, dude. It's time. Let's just hop into this thing. This is probably going to be a shorter podcast. Connor has to stream tonight, so we're just trying to get to the point. No preambles, no messing around. We're going to do it. Astro Bot. You ready, Connor?
Let's do it.
All right. Connor has beaten Astro Bot. I have beaten Astro Bot. Shout out to PlayStation for the codes for review. Connor, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I beat Astro Bot a few days ago, and since then, I've been really digging into every single aspect of this game, really nitpicking it, peeling over it, platinuming Astro Bot, basically trying to talk myself out of giving this game a 10 out of 10 masterpiece score. And with that being said, I am giving Astro Bot the first ever Co-op 64 10 out of 10 masterpiece. This game is phenomenal, but let's dig into that now. This game is just absolutely dripping with charm in every single aspect of its being. The levels just exude this excitement, this wonder, this magic that I don't know if I've felt. I didn't know I was still capable of feeling this way since I was a kid. It captures that childlike wonder that is just so magical. I loved it to death. It made me feel things that I did not expect to feel playing this silly little platformer. It was so charming, so good in that aspect. And every single level, when you fly in on your DualSense controller and you see the environment that you're going to get to explore and experience, you never really knew what you were going to get, but you're always impressed and always blown away and always have that feeling of joy getting to traverse these levels. When it comes to the actual platforming, I think that it's rock solid. I don't think that it's as complex or crazy as something like its contemporaries, but I think that's more than made up for by the sheer amount of different abilities and power-ups that are mixed in to each of these levels that change the entire perspective of how you traverse these levels, how you experience these levels, and how you enjoy these levels. And just when you think you might be getting to the end of your enjoyment with one thing, the next thing. Maybe we'll take this, bring it back later, this ability, and bring it back later, and it's used in a completely different way. The creativity here is insane. Like, I was never bored playing this game. I was constantly impressed and having fun. It's all killer, no filler, so good. And with that in mind, this game has some of the best collectibles in any game I have ever played. The Astro Bot PlayStation-themed characters that you're going and collecting and rescuing throughout each level. You never knew who you were going to run into. There's characters that are iconic, that are legendary. And then there's some of the most obscure characters that PlayStation pulled out of the bag. And I was like, who is that? And but it's exciting to run into those people and be like, who is that? And then finding a really obscure character and being like, how did they get this character? So it's really cool and really nostalgic to experience that. Then you also have the puzzle pieces that you're finding throughout each level. And then on top of that, there is portals to another level that is another collectible, basically, that you're searching for in most levels that leads to another level in the Lost Galaxy with more characters to find, more puzzle pieces, more secrets to find, more environments to traverse, new ways that they use the abilities and power-ups. It just keeps getting better and better in that department. And you might be thinking, Connor, you don't like cameos. You've been very vocal about not liking cameos. This is what I'll say to that. This game doesn't need the cameos. It would still be great without all the PlayStation history, all the PlayStation aspects that I personally love and grew up playing on these consoles. So that just adds to the experience. But if you take it away, it's still a great platforming video game with a ton of charm and a ton of challenge, with certain challenge levels that are added on top of that. But then you add in those pieces of PlayStation history, and it's just taken to the next level. I adore this game. And like I said, platinuming it, digging into every single aspect of it, I've basically really just been trying to be like, is it a 10? Like, are you comfortable giving out a 10 to this game? You've never given out a 10. And I, in good faith, could not lower my score any further than a 10. I love this game. This game needs to be experienced by any PlayStation fan. It is the best game on PlayStation 5, or at the very least, it's the best PlayStation exclusive, in my opinion. It is so good. That is my review for Astro Bot. Turned over to Nick. Nick, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, Connor, this game is 100% undoubtedly a masterpiece. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. I could not say anything bad about this game. There's only good things to say about this game, and every single thing that it sets out to do, it does so masterfully. The only negative, there is a small negative in this game, and it is the runtime might be too short, because all I wanted was more and more Astro Bot. The unique levels and designs, all the things that you've said are just so true. Every single level, it was, is there going to be a new power up, or how are they going to utilize something that I've already been given in a previous level and make it new? And every single time they did so expertly. The music in this game is 100% the unsung hero.
Frankly, they didn't need to go this hard on the music. It's so good.
It is unbelievable. The only thing that I could go and sing over the past few days is the main theme in this game. It is absolutely endearing and enticing and exciting every single time a new piece of music comes in, or a redesign of a theme that we already know and love comes in. It is unbelievable what they're able to do in this game. There are so many secrets and so many exciting things to go and run into that while I was playing this game, I was, without like wanting to or needing to, I was looking around every single map, trying to find every single bot, every single puzzle piece, every single secret level possible, because I was just so enamored with trying to find that next trinket and that next special moment that this game provides. And that is unbelievable that this game is able to do that. This game utilizes the DualSense unbelievably. Everything that you know and love from Astro's Playroom is taken up to the 50th degree. It breaks the scale of 10. It goes all the way up to 50, Connor. They do things with the DualSense that consistently feels great, that you don't even notice, whether it is Astro's legs tapping along glass or using your laser jump to go and ice an enemy. It always feels amazing. And then there are the more power-ups where the R2 triggers has that tension to it, and you're just like, yes, this feels awesome every single time. This game is super endearing. The game is absolutely cute. I can't believe that this game exists. There's not anything bad that I can say about this game. Connor and I were discussing what's the score of this game throughout our entire time playing it, and that we just both came to the conclusion that we can't say anything bad about this game. This game is a masterpiece. It is immediately a front runner for Game of the Year. I cannot wait to go and be sitting with you during the Game Awards, watch this game rack up a bunch of awards that it deserves. This game is one of an all-timer immediately. I agree with you that this is the best PlayStation exclusive for sure. It is the only one that I'm like, yep, this is 100% without a doubt a masterpiece
for the PS5.
For the PS5. I cannot believe how good this game is. Astro Bot is a masterpiece, a 10 out of 10.
If you guys let this game flop, I am going to lose my mind. I need 10 of these tomorrow. Please. Yeah. This game is so good, and I'm so excited for people to get to experience it. If you are interested in anything we just said, we tried really hard to be as spoiler-free as possible. There is so many surprises in this game and so many things to dig into that, like, we don't want to even say, we didn't even want to say what the abilities were. We didn't even want to say what the theming of some of the levels are. We didn't want to say anything. So if you're interested in this game, go play it.
Yeah.
Go buy it, because it's it should be experienced in that way, in my opinion. That's how we experienced it. Not radio silence. I did reach out to Jacob last night because I had one trophy left.
Oh, okay.
And I could not find this item in this level. And he very graciously sent me a video of his screen of where the thing was that I was looking for. I was like, oh my, it was getting late. And I was like, I need to go to sleep. And I desperately want to be able to say on the review that I platinumed this game. Yeah. And he very much helped me. But even platinuming a game without a guide for the first time, and I ended up using a guide, aka Jacob, for the last little bit. Shout out to Jacob on TikTok. He's amazing. But it was such a weird experience to just like play this in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Like, but it was legendary. Nick and I were calling each other like every few hours.
Every day.
Like the first few days, it felt like every few hours. Yeah. It was like, I just saw this. Did you see this? Can you believe this character is in this game? Like, what is going on here?
I want to just go and say that like, everybody is not here. Like, this isn't every single PlayStation character ever or associated with PlayStation ever. It doesn't matter. The characters that are in the game and the amount of characters that are the bots are in this game that you are able to go and find, it is insane that I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a PlayStation mascot, that's a mainstay. But then there's certain like deals that you're just like, that's not owned by PlayStation and it is here and it makes sense to be here. And I'm so thankful that that they had to go and get like a licensing deal for that character. And I'm so thankful that they just nailed it. I was smiling ear to ear for certain character representation when it came to some of my favorites, but then I was also looking up based on, because it doesn't just say like this character from this game. It's always a cute little description of who they are and what they want in the world. And it's like I was looking up things that I had no idea. I would say that I knew about 85% as somebody that's a hardcore PlayStation fan.
There is 300 bots in this game. Not all of them are PlayStation bots.
Yeah, so I was walking around and trying to collect each one of these guys and gals, and I just can't believe how good this game is. I can't believe it.
I really need to harp on the idea of the cameos and the PlayStation aspects of this, because I've been a very vocal detractor of just cameos for the sake of cameos, just getting that little pop and then like that nostalgia hit for people. I really do want to harp on the fact that this game, it does not need them. It is only enhanced by them. Yeah. And I think that's a really key distinction that I think really makes this game very special. It respects PlayStation history so well. And the fact that we're in a position where PlayStation has this level of history, this much stuff to pull from, like, is insane. Like, this is one of the most iconic brands like ever at this point. Like, when you really look at it pound for pound and how many characters are in this and like the representation from every generation of PlayStation, it's like, man, I grew up on this and I'm so happy that I grew up on this, because like it really did, it has been a staple in my childhood, in my teen years, in my adulthood now. And to be able to experience all of that and tap in to feelings that I haven't felt since I was a kid, that I was not sure I was still capable of feeling, is crazy. Like, I don't know how this game did that. Yeah. It's awesome though. Like, it's really, really good. But let's try to narrow this down and really just take aspect by aspect.
Before we do aspect by aspect, and this is going to be a shorter video. We just gave you guys a 3-hour podcast, so this is going to be a little bit shorter than a 3-hour podcast by quite a bit. A large portion of that is we really do not want to spoil this game. Yeah, we are so keyed in on Connor and I even discussed, we won't say anything that was even in the final trailer. We will discuss things that were in the first couple of trailers.
I wish I didn't see the final trailer. Yeah. I so badly wish I didn't see the final trailer.
And so like we're going to be bringing this to y'all in the sense of it's a great discussion. We're going to go into certain aspects that were in the first couple trailers and things that are well known about, like, oh, this level was in there or this power up was in there. So let's talk about that. But we are going to be focusing on broader points and trying not to spoil anything that can put a smile to your face, because Connor and I experienced this game where the smile did not leave our face the entire duration. It is unbelievable.
When certain characters came up, I would audibly say their names out loud in excitement, and I was like, why am I doing that? And it's like, it was involuntary. I'm like, I'm just having so much fun right now.
There's characters that are on the cover that we won't bring up. There's just like, we want every single person who goes and buys this game to, I would recommend, if you want this game, pick it up on that Friday and play it. and like go media blackout.
It took me, I think, 18 hours to platinum.
Okay, it took me about 10 hours plus to beat.
I think it was, but I did a lot of stuff in the first run through. When I had to go back to a lot of levels, it was just to do cleanup, and I think I spent, I think it was like 12 hours. For me,
yeah. So and that is with Connor and I did. I did not do all of the hidden levels. I have done a majority of them. I did every single challenge level. I did every single retro rumble level. We will get into just the level, like the level optioning in the longer form, but like I feel like I got so much of this game and all I wanted was more, and I will get the platinum in this game, like without a doubt. That is happening this year.
I was gonna ask you about certain aspects that that I saw last night, but I will not do that after this podcast. But like, I'm just so excited to talk to people about certain things. I just need more people to platinum it.
The spoiler thread on our Discord about this game of just, oh, this motherfucker showed up. It's going to be awesome.
Like, and then there's going to be, who the fuck is that guy?
Oh, dude.
Who is that person?
There's going to be photos with spoiler captions being like, I need to know what game this is from. There were so many moments where like Connor was like, I don't even know who this is. And I'm like,
and I know a lot about PlayStation.
And I was in the boat where like, I don't know the exact number of PlayStation bots there are. We do know that there's 300 bots in the game.
I think it's over 150.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Because at the end of every rumble and every difficult level, there is a PlayStation themed bot plus all the other ones that are throughout the game. Every single time I was so excited. And there was one difficult level that nearly broke me because like all the difficult levels, it's a right level of difficulty. There was one level that I just could not do properly, but it was a character I wanted, and I was like, I'm not leaving this couch until I get this. I was late for that party on Saturday because I was like just sitting down and playing this game, and I loved it. I was like, this is so worth being late for anything. I would be late for anything to be playing this game right now. I can't believe how good this game is. So yeah, we can break it down topic by topic.
Let's just go gameplay first and like the levels and how that is structured. So you have your basic levels, just like you have 5 different galaxies to go through, and then the Lost Galaxy. Each one has like a set of levels that are like your basic levels that have like a bunch of bots to find, puzzle pieces, so on and so forth. Then you have your challenge levels that are more difficult, and there's no checkpoint. When you die, you go back to the start of the level, and those are, I would say, a healthy level of difficulty. I'm sure there's people out there who are more skilled at platformer games than I am that will beat them on the first try. Certain ones on the first try. For me, though, I would say most of them took me 10 tries, and it was so satisfying to have the first little bit. Not 10 tries, that might be too many. Have that first little bit and dying a bunch on it, and then you perfect that first little bit, and then you die on the second little bit of the level, and then you die on that, but you've already learned the first bit, so you just keep adding those building blocks and eventually come out on top. Very satisfying. And whenever you're at the end of one of those levels and you do not want to go back to the start, I was clenching hard. I was like, please just be the end of the level. Please be the end of the level. And then you would finish. And it's like, yes. Oh, it's so good. So those are a proper level of difficulty. But in the main levels, it's not like a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Like there's no consequences to dying, but like you're not getting sent back super far. It really focuses on just keeping that momentum, keeping that fun going. Like try again, but it's not going to like really punish you, which I think is a great balance personally.
The balance for me was spectacular. Like the best part of this review is we're both at a 10. We can't really say anything bad about this game. The only thing that I legitimately was thinking could possibly be a detractor was I just want more, and it's a little bit short, and it's a $60 title, and like what to do with that. But there's so much between the extra levels and at like different secrets to go back and play, where the platinum is 18 hours. It's like, I assume most people that play this game, it really obviously love what they're doing. And I think that if you pick up this game, you will love what you're doing. The only world I can see you not enjoying this is if you're like, I just hate PlayStation and I hate great game design. It's like, because the game design itself is so good that it doesn't need the PlayStation aspect. But if you dislike this game and that's the hill you want to die on, sure. But all the levels, so well designed, so damn good.
So varied. Like I
varied.
said in the short form, you just never knew you were really going to get into. And so for every level, or I think it's every level, or at least most levels, there isn't anything that's just straight platforming. All of them have an item or like a power up, an ability. I think for the most part.
I was about to say, I don't know if that's the case off the top of my head, but there are the abilities.
Or they might have like an aspect, like a water level. You know what I mean?
So
like,
that was something I didn't mention in the short form. Connor and I were doing some, not practice runs, but just like points we wanted to hit on. This game does have the trope of it's the grass level. This one's the ice level. This one is the underwater level. Like there are those tropes that are hit on, and they're done so excellently and really, really well. And like, if that was just it still would be an unbelievable video game. But they do get in their bag a little bit and choose certain different levels that like Connor and I don't even feel comfortable mentioning because we're like, oh, that's a really cool idea. And honestly, some of the theming of those interesting levels in the main game are just like, you might be able to piece together which character might show up based off of the design of that level.
Right.
But that is so well
but
done.
It's
so cool.
Yeah, there were certain moments with the power ups and the abilities that were like, oh, they're doing that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really creative. Like, I don't know if I've seen this in a platform, or at least not recently.
Yeah.
And like I said in the short form, like there's so much variety when it comes to these abilities and how you get to play with them in the levels. So like certain times it'll give you this ability and you're doing one thing, and right when you feel like it might be getting stale, the level ends, and then it might come up again and you're like, oh, this again, but it's used in such a different way, or it's used in tandem with something else that will change your perspective on how that power up works. And I think that is so cool. like I said, I platinum this game. I got all 300 of the bots, and then had other cleanups to do where I had to return to certain levels. And so removing the PlayStation aspects of it, it's like I'm still having such a blast just traversing these levels. I'm very curious to see if this gets like a speedrunning community. I think that would be a super fun game to see people just kind of like figure out how to really master the platforming in this game, really master the abilities. Because I know people did that with Astro's Playroom. For a short game, they like went absolutely crazy on pushing it to its limits. So I'm really curious to see about that. But yeah, like I'm just so impressed by the smattering. The game that comes to mind for me is Mario Wonder, where Mario Wonder it never harped on an idea for long. It was new idea. And that's what this game does to a T. Like it just never rests on anything for long enough for you to like be bored. It's just always like pushing forward. And it doesn't need to do that because some of these ideas are really cool and very repeatable. But they're like, no, we're going to throw everything at the wall and it all sticks.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
The way that they utilize power-ups and then mix it with the different level design too is just like, okay, what if we have this idea, but instead of putting it in the exact space that you originally see it, let's put it in a completely different setting and make it even cooler. Like there are certain abilities that I'm like, oh, like this is a really cool ability, and then they're just like, actually we're gonna put this ability in a different theme, and that's gonna add a new gameplay element to it and make it even better this time around. And the way that just consistently cycles, and all these abilities just are consistently like, oh shit, I didn't know that they were going to be able to do that with this. And they didn't have to. They didn't need to go and be like, we're okay, this ability, we're going to bring it back 1, 2, 3, however many times. But every single time there's going to be a new nuance to it and have it be exciting and interesting. It's masterful. It's just simply masterful.
And then on top of that, in each galaxy, you have your big bad. You have your main boss that you're going to end up going up against. But then on top of that, you have mini bosses throughout. I did not expect that. A lot of levels end up with a mini boss that like feels cinematic and climactic and really cool and utilizes the power up that you have almost always to handle the situation that you're presented from these bosses. And I think the boss design in this game is really cool. I think that they could have, because you have the PlayStation aspect of the characters of the cameos with the little collectibles, but I think they could have taken it even a step further and been like, we're going to theme this entire game around PlayStation. And they said, no, no, no. We have a direction we want to go with. We have an art style that we want to go with. And it might not be the conventional wisdom to do this. We should just lean into nostalgia. And they said, no, we're going to have some personality here.
Yeah.
And like, these enemies are cool, like, and really diverse and really interesting. They hit a lot of stuff, and they're constantly like new thing. That's really the core message of this game, is that they did not rest on the easy idea. They always took it a step further, and I think that's really impressive.
And I think that goes to what you said with your nostalgia piece and being like, okay, this game goes further than just the nostalgia aspects, where they're like, let's do the damn thing. And everyone, if you're the best part is like, this game can be easily enjoyed if you're not a huge PlayStation fan, because the level designs and the boss fights and everything are so dang good. But let's just add in some sprinkles and some sauce for those people that are really into that, like we both are. We can both admit that we really enjoy PlayStation games.
Right.
Like, that is our primary place where we play our exclusives, and a majority of the time that's where I play my third party. So like, I'm using this thing all the time, and they could have leaned all the way in on that. They said, we're just going to actually sauce it up. Especially, I love that you brought this up. The mini bosses, when you go and you open up a galaxy, you're like, okay, it's going to end with a level with the boss, like any platformer ever does. And that's going to sort of be it. The boss fights sometimes are multi-phase. A lot of the times are multi-phase boss fights. And every single time you get to one of those bigger epic bosses, you're just like, you didn't need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the level itself was already so damn good. But when they showed up, there were certain times in these boss fights where I would not make it all the way through on my first attempt.
Yep, me too.
And that's awesome.
It's great.
A great level of difficulty. I never got frustrated with it. Like, once again, this is a super
It was always
cutesy,
like, it's
fun
my
game.
fault. You know? Like, you always knew that. You were like, oh yeah, that's my bad.
And then there were certain moments that had a, not puzzle aspect necessarily, but there were moments where it was like, oh, this is what you're supposed to be doing, and I'm not currently doing it. And then when you realize how to do it correctly, that like light bulb goes off in the head and the dopamine hits your entire body. You're just like, yes, like, let's go.
There was even in the small enemies, it's like
Yep.
that Brady was talking to me about one of the enemies at work. Brady also would give this a 9.5 or a 10 is
Yep.
what he said to me. He was between those two.
Yeah, Brady couldn't be on this pod, but 9, 5, or 10. Like, I in talking to him, same experience.
He doesn't have the same history. I mean,
Yeah.
like, he grew up on like playing everything, but like he was like a more casual gamer. But like he doesn't have that PlayStation history to really drag him in, and he still loves it. Like,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Like I was really glad that. But talking to him about it, there was one enemy that he just avoided the entire game because he did not realize how to defeat them. Like in a smaller enemy, I'll tell you it after. But like and then when the light bulb clicked, he was like, "Oh, I'm so dumb."
Yeah, it's awesome. This whole game has so many moments, and the conversation around it is gonna be awesome. So this is one of those that I will say, like, get it early. Don't let this one go by the wayside and be like, oh, I'll just get it on Black Friday, because there will be surprises that are ruined. Like, we have made this review so ambiguous in some senses that we want you guys to go and play it and enjoy it for what it is, and that is a masterpiece. Like, I cannot believe how fucking good this game is, and for it to be good for somebody like Brady, who, like you said, doesn't have the history, but also just isn't super into platformers. Like, that's not his style of game. And I feel like a lot of people in the modern game sense are, you look around at what the new hotness and the new discussion is, it is about Space Marine 2 and Black Myth right now. Those are some bigger titles that everyone's talking about for September releases, because it is co-op with friends shooting things, or it is a Souls light game that, like, a lot of conversations around platformers is such a, I don't want to say dying, like,
Nintendo's holding down the fort.
Yeah, but
on
Nintendo holds it down in a very dominant way, because it's just like, okay, they know how to do it and they've done it so well. This is 100%, I think you would concur with this. This is PlayStation's not just like swing back in Nintendo, but this is them planting the flag, making their own name, being like, we can make a platformer that is so unbelievable. Connor and I's biggest fear after beating this game is like, how the fuck do they do it again? Because it is so good.
They'll figure it out, though.
They will.
Whatever they figure out, I'm on board for, but like, I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, it's a big aspect of this game is like the PlayStation aspects of it. But Connor and I both agree, if they wanted to, I don't think they would. I think that there will always be core PlayStation aspects in Astro Bot. They showed that with Playroom being the inside of a PS5 and the GPU song and everything, like trying to bring the joy there. And in Astro's Playroom, there were cameos and like around the map that you weren't able to interact with necessarily, but you were able to go and see and marvel at and have that enjoyment. They proved that they could do without it with this game. And that is so impressive, because if you told me, can you take the PlayStation out of Astro Bot and have it work? I'd be like, yeah, it would probably be like a good to great game, like a 7.5, 8, maybe even if they really nail it, an 8.5. It's like, no, this game is like a 9.5 without the PlayStation, maybe even a 10 without the PlayStation, because it is just so creative, so endearing. The music is off the fucking charts, baby. It is awesome. Like, this game Connor brought up, and it was a change to see Connor get nearly emotional discussing the magic of this game on this podcast. This game is magical for so many reasons, but the thing that I consistently told Connor was the music for me is what's giving me that, like, holy crap, it's tying everything together perfectly.
It's the perfect answer to the people who say that they're sick of like the same game, the same type of the dreary, the sad dad simulator for PlayStation, like, or like the competitive shooter. Like we just aren't getting weird games anymore, and like, this is it, guys. This is the one that you've been looking for. And I hope that people can understand that. And hopefully this game gets the support that it needs to hopefully get sequels in the future, because I just want more. Give me DLC for this game, please.
Connor called me like 3 different times asking for DLC. I was like, Connor, I don't got it. I don't have it for you, buddy.
Guys, I just was like, man, like, I just want more of this. Like, I don't want it to end. Like, I know that you talk about it as a negative, but like, that you don't want it to end. It's like going into an interview and they're like, what's your weakness? And you're like, I'm a perfectionist. It's like, if this game, it's like, for this game's weakness, it's that it's the perfect length, but if it was any longer, it risks ruining that. You know what I mean? That like, I don't want them to touch it. They've tuned it perfectly. That like, if you mess with this, you open yourself up to, I don't think they would, but you would open yourself up to maybe drawing the game on for too long or something. It's like,
it's almost like you're taking a test. It's a 20-question test, and then you get the 100% on that test. And it's like, we don't need more questions, like, because then there is a chance to fail or lower that score. They were just like, no, we're going to go basically 20 for 20 or whatever, 300 for 300, 1,000 for 1,000. Just bat unbelievably well. It's unbelievable what this game is. I can't harp it enough. You nailed it with weird games. This isn't a weird game. This is actually super inviting. We are both very curious. We've asked multiple times to each other how much we think it's going to sell, because this is very different than what PlayStation does. What does the player base look like? It's a PS5 exclusive. It's not on the PS4.
What is the score on Metacritic?
What's the score on Metacritic?
I am afraid to give this 10. I've never done something like this before where I'm like, I think most people are going to be around where we are.
Connor, come to the side that gives high scores, baby. Connor,
I don't want to overscore something. Like, this is how I feel. Like, this is unabashedly, I'm giving you my honest opinion. Like, if I was arguing not in good faith, I would have to, like, this is a 10. Yeah. Like, if I'm being true to myself.
The thing that Connor said in the short form that keeps on ringing in my ears, and the reason that I also landed as a 10 is I tried. And I've been trying to get a little bit more critical with my reviews and understand and like scores and what we're doing as you guys listen to this podcast. I tried so hard to give this game a 9.5. I tried so hard. And everyone would have been like, oh, it's another 9.5 by Nick. Connor and I discussed the aspect of what a 10 is and how this doesn't happen often. For me, the last game that came out that I would qualify as a 10 out of 10 masterpiece came out in 2022. It was Elden Ring. I think Connor would agree. In 2020, we had a 10 with The Last of Us Part 2. Like, these are things that happen once every couple years, and you wouldn't expect it from Team Asobi that the credits roll of this game, and they're not too long. Like, it is a small team that made this game relative to some of the bigger PlayStation studios and everything, and they fucking nailed it. Like, this is a masterpiece. I don't want to predict a Metacritic. I do think that the industry will lean closer to where we're at. I expect a lot of 10s. I told Connor that I can close my eyes and see the Astro Bot logo, and then like the 28 different 10 out of 10, 5 stars out of 5 stars by different outlets. Like, this is, I don't know how you detract from this game. Like I legitimately will love talking to people. Like I can't wait to the next time I talk to Andy or Mike and just be like, hey, what do you think? And if they don't give it a 10, it's going to be like, how did you drop your score? Because I don't know how to drop my score from a 10.
My only nitpick with this game is with the secret levels, which, like I said, are the best collectible in video games ever. If you find them, you're finding them throughout the core levels. You have to. They're usually hidden away in a really interesting, weird way. That you find the portal, and if you step on the platform and go into the portal, it'll stop your progression in the current level that you're in, and you have to redo the aspects that you've already done.
Yeah.
And so the way that I did it, it was like, I'm not looking for these on first playthrough. I will come back and find them when I'm doing cleanup. And the joy of finding them and then getting a reward of more Astro Bot and more Astro Bots to collect and more puzzle pieces and more different gameplay aspects to explore. Because they save full on gameplay aspects for these levels.
Yep.
It's like, these should have been in the main game. And the restraint,
it is, yeah.
The restraint there is wild. The fact that they were like, we're going to hold some of these and we're going to make them for people who really want them. And I think that's really cool.
And I do think that the people will want them. Like, that's the best part of this game was...
the platinum percentages for this game is going to be nuts.
Yeah.
I think Elden Ring is like 35, 40%. And it's like... I think this is going to be like closer to 50.
Yeah, it's a unbelievable this game. I just want to play more of it. That's all I want to do. I can't wait for this review to finish so I can play more of it. It's awesome. This game is absolutely awesome. I can't believe that this game exists. I want more of this game. It's all I want in my entire life is to play more Astro Bot. I am begging Team Asobi to get back to work and make another one of these bad boys.
But celebrate first.
Celebrate.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
like you earned it.
Pop the motherfucking champagne.
Take your time and make the next one. But I can't wait for the next one.
If you worked on this game, and I know that there might be one person that worked on this game that listened to this podcast that just sort of wants to scroll and listen to people talk about their creation. Give yourself a pat on the back. Buy yourself a bottle of champagne if you drink. Buy yourself flowers even. Celebrate this because this is something that is absolutely magical. There is something about this game we talk about all the time with Bloodborne of Yharnam has the sauce. You're in that world and it has the sauce. This game has the sauce because it is a perfect platformer. I don't, like you said, that's like the level design, but my question was when they made that decision of putting the lost levels within the level where you have to find it, what if I felt like I missed something and I didn't know and you put me right back there, then I would have to go back and find it again. And so I feel like they have to put you at the start of the level and everything because that's just what you have to do.
So my thing is you unlock the portal to the lost level and then it just shows up.
Yep.
In the lost level,
and you don't have to play it right away.
You don't have to go through it, so then you can just leave and just finish the level. I seriously think that will be patched in.
Oh, do you think you're gonna?
That will be will be a thing.
I'm curious. I don't think it will because I think that for me, the way I enjoyed playing this game was in the same way that you did. Let's just wait to the end and then let's go through the level and then hop over to the other thing. I think that's what most players will end up doing.
I think if you find the thing in mid level, you should just be able to get the reward of unlocking the other level.
The first one that I found was through it wasn't just there. I had to do something in the game to provide that level.
Right.
And it was something that I almost did accidentally where I accidentally, I'm going to keep it very vague, hit a switch. It wasn't actually a switch, but I hit a switch and then I sort of looked around and I saw that there was other switches and I was like, wait, this might be something, but it probably isn't. Yeah. And then I hit the other switches and then all of a sudden it was, here's a lost level. And I was like, oh yeah, baby. Yeah. What the hell is this thing? And then I go to it and I'm just like, all right, they're doing the damn thing. This is awesome. I can't believe how good this game is. There are gameplay aspects in this game that are unbelievable that we won't discuss, but it's the perfect smile on my face thing. There were moments that Connor was just like, you're not going to believe when you get to this moment. And then I got to that moment and I legitimately melted with joy and happiness. I can't believe that they provide certain things in certain ways.
Some of the decisions are just so weird, but so awesome. So joyous. I'm glad they made the decisions they made. I'm like, how did they decide to do this? And then it's like, okay, but like it's awesome. So I don't really care.
But it's like, how they decided to do this, and then it's like, wait, they did it expertly? Okay, I'm about that. I'm for that.
Yeah, I'm seriously thinking about buying a PSVR and playing Astro Bot Rescue Mission. I just want more. I just want more. And I think that game has none of the PlayStation stuff in it.
Yeah,
I think it's just a platformer or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I want to play that.
For me, I want to get an Astro Bot controller. I want to there's a chance that hopefully maybe it goes on Black Friday sale or anything. We just buy a copy for it just to put in the set for Game Awards and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, this game is going to be awesome.
There's been so much because of the Black
we can talk about this
because of the Black Myth discussion that I posted from last podcast about Game Awards and what's going to get nominated. Astrobot's a lock, in my opinion.
100%. I think that it's the front runner now. I do, over Rebirth.
I don't know. It's just because it's a platformer, and I for right now today. If it ended today, and we'll see how the reviews go, I guess. So if it ended in a couple days, I think Astro Bot probably would win.
Yeah,
probably. But Rebirth would be close, I think.
Yeah, I typed remake and not Rebirth. Like, we've discussed, and we don't want to like predict Metacritic or anything like that. We don't want to because what if we're just wrong? And that's okay if we're wrong. Our love for this game, I'm okay with being wrong.
Yes, I'm okay with being too high on it for a lot of people because I'm giving you my honest
this is just what
opinion
you believe that's always the thing where people come in and are like, you have a bias towards certain things. It's like, I don't know if it's bias or necessarily just what I think and believe. Rebirth right now is at a 92 on Metacritic, so like that
I think this will be right around there.
I think I'd be shocked if it wasn't. That's where I'm at, where it's like,
dude, watch it be like an 84. If people don't score this high, I'm gonna lose it.
I'm gonna lose it because I'm just like, you're wrong. Like, you're incorrect.
Well, there's no such thing about being wrong when it comes to this. But
we can all have that discussion at a different time.
Yeah.
But we're both at a 10 out of 10 score. This thing is unbelievable. I want more of it. I need more of it. My final thoughts that I'll give before turning it over to Connor to close it out is, this has been like one of the most rewarding experiences in gaming I've had this year. Playing Star Wars Outlaws while playing this was tough, because it's like, all I want to do is play more Astro Bot. And that I even though you guys know how I stand with Star Wars Outlaws, it's like, could you imagine playing a game that I gave a 6.5 while I also have a 10 out of 10 masterpiece on the same freaking console? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, this is what it's about, dude. Like, Connor and I, multiple times while talking, we're like, this is what it's about. This is what video games is about. This is what this medium can be. That's what a masterpiece means to me, is like, holy crap. Just mentioning a few masterpieces that I've given 10 out of 10s. The Last of Us Part 2 is like, this is what cinematic storytelling can be on a gritty level and on a very, very deep thematic level. God of War, grandiose storytelling with themes that are very like pinpoint accurate to what I believe, and unbelievable gameplay. Elden Ring, the ultimate open world game, the ultimate Souls game. Go anywhere, do what you want. That's like what I believe the medium can be, and that's when I go and I'm Mr. 9.5, I'm Mr. 9, but then it's like, all right, I only have a few 10s. And this is one of those to me, like, immediately. Yeah. I think that, I don't know where Connor stands, where he would put it in his top 50 after the fact.
I have no idea.
It would be up there. I can promise you that. This is a masterpiece. This is a 10 out of 10. And honestly, like, Connor's like, I agree. This is a weird one. We're going to be at embargo. We have no idea what anyone else in the industry really thinks, except for a couple people that we are friends of that we get to talk to about these sort of things. But from a broad scale, we have no idea what people think about this game. But I'm so convicted, and I'm so sure in my own opinion that this is a masterpiece, that this is beyond just an amazing video game, that they did the damn thing. And it's amazing.
My final word on it is, this game is going to be compared heavily to Super Mario Odyssey.
And Galaxy.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Both of them. Absolutely. What I will say is, if you've played Mario Odyssey, there's a moment in New Dunk City that is like celebrating the history of Mario, and is so triumphant and is so joyous, and it's just impossible not to be happy while you're playing it. And a lot of people look to Mario Odyssey and they talk about that moment. Astro Bot is that moment, the game. is how I feel about it. Like, it is just triumphant and nostalgic, but like not in a cheap way the entire time. And it's so good. So yeah, 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Cannot wait for people to get their hands on it. This has been your bonus casual gaming conversation. Be sure to tune into our Twitch streams Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching this on Thursday, we're playing PlayStation All-Stars on Friday, 7 to 9, and then we're playing The Last of Us Factions from 10 to midnight. So double stream for you on Friday.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna be in my like single setup, desk setup. There's a good chance I roll into the late night and play some more Call of Duty if you're down.
Saturday, we are doing the live podcast as well. We don't have a time nailed down for that.
That's gonna be on Saturday. I was thinking about that.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. Be excited. The video game controller tier list.
Yeah.
Going to be very heated, I imagine. Where will Joy-Cons fall, Nick? Where will they fall?
They won't fall where I want them to fall.
Yes, they
because
will not.
I'm way higher on them.
D tier. One of the worst controllers of all time. Take
Top
it to
five.
the bank. You are
Podium, baby.
out of your mind.
Podium.
Out of your mind. So if you want to see us argue about that, that's going to be a lot of fun. But streams Monday through Thursday, 7 to 10. Join the Discord. Stay up to date on all of our happenings. There's a link tree in the bio for that. Merch in the bio for that as well. Torg coming up in November. So if you want to come meet us and come to our panel, November
I'm
2nd.
also going to throw it out there. I know that Torg is the next major thing, but the thing after that is the Game Awards. And if you want to see us celebrate and react to what wins Game of the Year and stuff like that, it's my favorite day of the year. Connor loves this day also. Like, it's going to be a blast. And coming after talking about Astro Bot, I think it's necessary to say, because if you want us to be gushing about this also throughout that entire award show, I mean, any single time it wins an award, I promise you, Connor, myself, Brady will all be there like, yep, great, awesome. Like, that, It deserves to win and every single award.
We'll see how the rest of the year goes, but like, I'm rooting for Astro Bot to win stuff. I think Rebirth is still my game of the year personally.
It is,
but it's almost, it's weird because like I would score Rebirth less, but it has that story that like I got so emotionally attached to, and it has these characters and voice acting and music that like it just, it's easier to connect with for me. Whereas I can find flaws in that game.
Yeah.
I can't find major flaws in this game of any capacity.
For me, we're both at a 9.5 for Rebirth, I believe.
I would say somewhere around there.
Yeah, and so it's like, it's the 9.5 that's 50 hours of a 9.5, or it's the 12 hours of a 10, and that adds a little bit to it. And then for me, Rebirth is just emotionally attached to, I can say, both of us. Like, this is just one of those games.
I thought about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth like a few days ago at work, and I then put the music on and then started crying.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's just how
can't
it
be
goes.
crying at work, Connor. You can't be doing that. But it's Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, dog. Like,
right.
That game has emotionally like destroyed my life 6 months after release. So yeah, that is your casual gaming conversation. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this week. We will see you on the next one.
Peace out.